Turn to the Minority Leader, Representative Candelora of the 86th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to first thank you for clearing out the room so no one listens to me while I'm speaking, because this is...
We had some fire code concerns, I'm told.
This is always the worst part, I think, for me of opening day of giving this speech. But I also want to thank the Majority Leader. It's a good thing I got an elected leader already, because throwing out that 75% voting together might not have been so good if my election followed that. But in all seriousness, as many of the newly elected will find, I mean, there are a lot of bills that we work on a bipartisan basis. And what I would say, and what I've said to my caucus, get into the game early. If there are issues that are passionate to you, it is important to participate in that process. Especially for us, while we have the minority voice, I think we offer a very important perspective to all of these issues that we're faced with. Getting to the point, as the Speaker alluded to, that bipartisan budget. There was a decision for Republicans back then to allow the state to really fall into a massive budget impasse that would have cost our cities, our towns, our children's education. It would have cost them dearly. And we did come together on a bipartisan basis and did some great work. One of those items was creating the caps that we have in place that allow for fiscal restraint in a way that's allowing us to pay down our unfunded liabilities. And certainly that is an issue that's near and dear to Republicans, and we will continue to move ahead to try to make sure that those caps remain in place and the bond lock remains in place. Additionally, we share a lot of the concerns that the Majority Leader had referenced, and we certainly look forward to working with you where we can on a bipartisan basis on those issues. And it's not to say that we won't have disagreements moving forward. But again, I think the process is important. Get involved in that process, certainly. And I just want to welcome the freshmen to opening day, and also the sophomores that were elected 2 years ago. It was under very different circumstances. I think we're all outside freezing. We did the best we could to give speeches. It was very difficult circumstances, and we really muddled through this process, I think, very well, despite those. And to that point, the rules that we will be taking up is allowing for the potentiality of people that might get sick and need to quarantine, but it's also ensuring that we have an in-person process, which is so critical for us to maintain. And so all of you, please get to this building whenever you can, because it's important to be accessible to the public, and this is really the place where the work gets done. I also want to just introduce some of my family members. We mixed it up this year in that my immediate family, most of them have scattered throughout New England and are unable to make it. But my middle child, who's still working on becoming the favorite child, is here. He's still on break, Tommy Candelora. And I have also my older sister, who's here only by 10 months, Angela Watrous. And then, for many of you might know, I have a twin brother who, unfortunately, whether he liked it or not, has been thrusted into politics because we live in the same town, in the same community, and the poor guy can't even go to the grocery store without people thinking he's me. And I want to thank him, as he's always said to me over the years, I can ruin you in a minute. And And he hasn't done that. So that's my twin brother, Joe Candelora. And, those two individuals, to the point of ruining me in a minute, they've really done the opposite. We have a family business in manufacturing and a sports complex. And those are the two that have always stepped up for me when I'm up here in the chamber. And it's why I'm able to do what I can do, because of individuals like this that step to the plate and believe in the public service that they're not necessarily doing directly, but they're certainly helping to facilitate me to be able to do that job, and I thank them for that.